Commonwealth Literature Does Not Exist by Salman Rushdie. About the author, Salman Rushdie is a British Indian novelist. His essay, Commonwealth Literature Does Not Exist, is published under the title Imaginary Homeland, a collection of essays. Rushdie defines the term Commonwealth literature as a body of writing created in the English language by persons who cannot themselves, as white Britons or Irish or citizens of the United States of America. He says Commonwealth literature and English studies are distinct, like unstable fissile materials whose union might cause explosions. Rushdie, Shiva Naipal, and Buchi Emecheta was interviewed. It was published under the headline Commonwealth Writers, but don't call them that. The countries like South Africa and Pakistan are not the members of Commonwealth, but their writers belong to the Commonwealth literature, says Rushdie. Rushdie says the English form and style is used in some of the Indian novels. England, which, as far as I am aware, has not been expelled from Commonwealth quite yet. Commonwealth writers have more differences than similarities. Rusty says it is uncertain that the writers writing in languages other than English Hindi, for example, and the writers who switch to other languages like Yuki are included as Commonwealth writers are not. Rushdie describes the category Commonwealth literature as a ghetto created by those who practice English literature proper. He calls the North India as Hindi belt and says that resentment of Hindi in South India divides him. He says English is an essential language in India, simply to permit two Indians to talk to each other in a tongue which neither party hates. He says that Commonwealth literature is positioned below English literature proper. Rusty says it places English literature at the center and the rest of the world at periphery. Rusty says what it is in the ghetto of Commonwealth literature. Every ghetto has its own rules. One of the ideas that literature is an expression of nationality. He exemplifies it with the Australianness of Patrick White, the Africanness of Doris Lessing, and the West Indianness of Shiva Naipal. The writer's write-up is based on the culture from which he springs. Arun Kolakar's poem Jejuri was criticized by C.D. Narasimhaya for its lack of tradition. He talks about the authenticity of works. Rusty says it would seem absurd to eulogize a novel for being authentically English or German. He says the Indian tradition as eclectic. He talks about the works of Ruth Jabwala and Anita Desai, which are Western, and does not fit into the cohorts of Commonwealth ghetto. Rushdie says magic realism brings similarities in the chimera of Commonwealth literature. He says this transnational, cross-lingual process of pollination has been prevalent since Tagore's time. He concludes his speech by rephrasing the term Commonwealth literature does not exist to Commonwealth literature should not exist.